today on The Wicked, we're going to one of the most popular websites on the platform, that is Reddit. Am I the ass? But not only that, but it's going to have a little twist. See, I've been thinking about how I'm going to put my mark on the Am I the Asshole Reddit, and you know, I don't think I can do it justice. I don't, honestly. There's a heat wave, I'm a sweaty mess in my bedroom with 23 subscribers. So we are going to outsource this work to a computer, to an AI, to ChatGPT no less. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask all of you to subscribe. Please. Am I the asshole for telling my sister her son is only special to her?
I, 26, have 3 older siblings. This is about my oldest sister Abby, 37. Abby has a son, 5, and I have a daughter, 1. Abby dealt with years of fertility issues and had probably 10 plus miscarriages. Then she had her son, and of course, he was Abby's miracle rainbow baby. We were so happy for her. But then it leads to Abby spoiling her son and letting him get away with everything because he's a miracle and he's special. Everyone has always bit their tongue when it comes to her son because of that. On Saturday, I had my daughter's first birthday party. It was mostly family, and a few of my close friends were invited. I invited Abby and her son because everyone else in our family was invited, so I felt bad excluding her. We had different activities for the kids to do. Abby's son didn't like any of them. He was upset none of the presents were for him. He didn't want to eat any of the food we had. He then decided to try and push the cake off the table because apparently he was mad the cake wasn't his. I got super upset at Abby for allowing her son to act that way. She went on to say her son is special. I said her son is only special to her, which is understandable. But to everyone else, he's a spoiled brat, which shouldn't be overlooked because he was your special miracle baby. Abby called me a bitch and left crying. A few family members have since called me an AH because I've never dealt with a miscarriage, so I don't understand how painful it was for Abby to deal with years of that before her son. It's not that I don't realize her son is special to her, but it doesn't give the excuse for Abby to allow him to act like a spoiled brat.
Now, if you were to ask me, my opinion would be you're not an asshole. You didn't go too far. You could have said a lot worse. I probably would have. However, your judgment isn't up to me. It's up to this god right here.
It's understandable that you want your nephew to be well behaved, and it can be frustrating when he acts out at events like your daughter's first birthday party. However, it's also important to consider the context and your sister's experiences. Your sister, Abby, went through a very difficult time with fertility issues and multiple miscarriages before finally having her son. This likely created a deep emotional connection and attachment to her child, making her feel like he is indeed special. It's understandable that she may spoil him because of these emotions. That said, it's also essential for parents to set boundaries and teach their children appropriate behavior. Spoiling a child and allowing them to act out without consequences is not healthy for the child or the people around them. You have a right to be upset about your nephew's behavior at the party. In situations like this, it might be more productive to have a calm and private conversation with your sister about your concerns. Express your love and support for her and her son, but also explain how his behavior affected the party, and how it's essential to maintain some level of discipline. Encourage her to consider how her actions may affect her son's future interactions with others and his own development. It's essential to approach this conversation with empathy and understanding, acknowledging her feelings and experiences, while also addressing your concerns about her son's behavior. Ultimately, finding a balance between love and discipline is crucial for the well-being of any child, regardless of their background or circumstances.
Well, aren't you told? Right then and there. Absolutely, it's essential to approach this with empathy. Finding a balance between love and discipline is crucial for the well-being of a child. Maybe these AIs are smarter than we think. Alright, so the AI decided to just give, the basic, morally boring questions again and again and again. So I've decided to just go back to doing it my way. Note, my stepdaughter, Madeline, was about a year old when I married her mother, Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. Madeline is currently 15, and she's rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set a punishment for her. Then she said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a bit hurt from that. But I understand that she didn't mean it, and that she'd probably change. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you must follow my rules." That happened about 2 days ago. So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, "I'm hungry. I need food." I decided to be extremely cheeky and say, "Hi, hungry. I'm not your dad." My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment, and my wife was berating me, not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke, and my son agrees. So am I the asshole? I wouldn't say so. In my opinion, that's just a funny joke. She made the dig, you made the dig. It's teenagers. They always make digs. They're always a little grumpy. We all were teenagers once. I don't think it's that bad. But there is an update. Edit. I did adopt her, so legally I am her parent. Very nice. Mini update. I'll probably give a full update later on, but here's what happened so far. I go to my daughter's room after dinner and begin talking with her. Hey, I'm really sorry that I hurt you by the words I said. And I am really your dad. I changed your diapers, I met your boyfriend, and I plan on helping you through college. And plus, I'm legally your dad, so we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter even if you don't think I'm your dad. Then I hugged her. She started to cry. I assume that's good. Maybe assuming your child crying is good, not the best approach, but hopefully. Am I the asshole for telling my extended family how many men, roughly, my sister has slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin? Probably. We had a family dinner this evening. My family has 4 kids in total. Me, my elder sister, younger sister, and youngest brother. Extended family attended our family dinner. So all of our significant others, our cousins, aunts and uncles, etc. During the dinner, my elder sister and youngest brother got into a mild argument. My sister seemed, at least to me, to be coming across as very aggressive out of frustration and losing said argument. The two of them were too absorbed in their argument to realize the rest of us were getting a bit fed up. Eventually my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut the fuck up, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks until that point. It was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been the alcohol, as my sister is a mean drunk. Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up, and that she was making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everyone knows he's a virgin and she didn't say anything wrong. This annoyed me, as my bro definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. So I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college, and that since everyone in the family knows this, it's not a big deal, right? Turns out her husband didn't know this, amazingly. I genuinely assumed he must have known. He left the party angrily, saying my sister misled him about her past. Family is blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to accept that I did anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone. All I did was give her a taste of her own medicine. Your family's fucked, man. Stop talking about your siblings' sex lives. Freaks. That's it. That's all it can be. Freaks. You don't talk about your family's sex life. You don't talk about your mothers, your fathers. Why would you talk about your brothers or your sisters? You and your sister both have issues. I was over at my boyfriend's apartment this weekend and I was cooking dinner because he was studying for exams. I made pasta and a chunky sauce with meatballs and veggies. Sounds delicious. I told him dinner was ready and he goes, "What's for dinner tonight, bitch?" with a lot of emphasis on the last word. I was fed up. I'd had a pretty rough day with work, and I have some awfully bad associations with that word being used by other people in my life, who were pretty abusive. So I was irritated that I dropped the pot of pasta sauce I'd been carrying right on the ground, and was like, "Well, nothing's for dinner tonight now, bitch, and I better not hear you using that word again." He was freaking out about how the sauce had landed on his rug, and he even said, "You're seriously acting like a bitch right now." I don't know what else to call it. I just walked out and got takeout for myself and went to my friend's house. She thought it was funny, but my boyfriend was furious. He kept texting and calling and sending me voice memos trying to explain that he was saying, "What's for dinner tonight, bitch?" was a TikTok trend, and he was just quoting something as a joke to put on TikTok. I thought that was the shittiest excuse ever. It doesn't matter if he saw it as a joke or stole the joke, it was still disrespectful. But it didn't change the fact that he thought that shit was funny. To demean me when I was trying to do him a favor. Without the edit and the update, without reading it yet, I wouldn't say so. I think, go you, that's a power move. Well, you may be a little overreaction, perhaps. But I don't know, Nah, fuck that, suffer no fools. Cut him out. Edit to address a comment. I've gotten a lot, and I don't have time to reply to every time. But did you tell him not to call you a bitch? Like, how would he know otherwise? Honestly, if someone has gotten to the age of 30 and not realized that women, as a whole, do not like having demeaning slurs used against them, they're beyond my help. This isn't something that needs to be told. I shouldn't have to go through life like, hey man, just in case you were thinking I might like demeaning slurs against my gender used on me. I don't actually. And if you're about to comment something like that, let me just tell you, in no uncertain terms, women do not like being called bitches by men. Do not call women bitches. If you need to be told that is unkind, consider yourself officially told. Now you have no excuse to not understand. I fully agree. Honestly, I do. But apparently the comments under this are a bit... I googled the trend, and it's all about seeing how women react to a knowingly offensive comment. And usually, they are offended. These jokes aren't funny. Well, you reacted. He got his wish. Effed around and found out. He needs to grow up. Couldn't agree more. Well, I must say, those were some fantastic Am I the Asshole Reddits. I'm sorry that I've been such a sweaty bastard all video. I can't help it. It's just really hot here. And it's getting dark, so my lighting's getting really bad. I should face this way more often. And then you'll be able to actually see my beautiful complexion and not the red light of that lamp over there. However, if you enjoyed this video, I'd very much appreciate it if you could go down and subscribe. We're at 23 subscribers, as I mentioned earlier. Which is nice to see the channel growing. And I don't mind saying it in the videos because it just chronologues it, you know, gives a timeline to things. Go back on this video and use and see where I am now. As always, no rest for the wicked.